Breaking news coming out of Tottenham, and we've made our second signing of the summer transfer window. We started off with Matthias Tell, making that loan deal into a permanent for around £30 million. But now we have signed a defender. Is he a replacement for Christian Romero? Because that was going to be the talk of the summer. If Christian Romero leaves, who are we going to bring to replace him? But it looks like Tottenham are getting those, young player deals in early. And I'll be honest, I'm not quite sure who this signing is. But before we go any further and I explain more of this, then let me know in the comments down below. Are you happy with Tottenham's transfer window so far? Because I feel like many of you are not. Subscribe to the Sonny Talks Spurs YouTube channel. Leave your likes and hit the notification bell. And without further ado, let's get into it. And funny enough, I was actually, while this news was breaking, I was recording a deep dive into a potential signing that Tottenham might make. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. Subscribe and hit the notification bell because it'll let you know when I go live at 11 a.m. tomorrow. So Fabrizio Romano has just tweeted that Tottenham agree £5 million deal with Kawasaki Frontale. Sorry about that. To sign 2004 Japan international centre-back Kota Takai. Record fee ever received for a Japanese player from the J-League, as Sponchy Soccer reports. I mean, a very niche source, but it sounds like it's from Asia. So I'm not too sure. I didn't know about its legitimacy until Fabrizio Romano has firmed it up. But I mean, one of those deals where it's going to be only time will tell. Because I'm being honest to you guys, I don't know who this player is. I have never heard of him. And I'm not. I mean, funny enough, it's funny that we sign a J-League player after a former J-League manager is sacked. But I mean, £5 million. It's nothing much. Will this player stay at the club? I do not know. But I might as well, with you guys right now, I have a little Google because, as I say, I've just gone live without really knowing who this player is. He's 20 years old. He's a centre-back. I'm going to get his player profile up on Transfermarkt. He can play both centre-backs. He can play right-back. There's not really too much to add. I just feel like the point of this video I want to make is Tottenham need to make more experienced signings than this. It's all well and good picking up players from the J-League and that have a lot of potential that could go on to bigger and better things. But at the end of the day, these aren't the signings that, Daniel Levy went on record last week and said that after the triumph in the Europa League, he wants Tottenham to win Premier Leagues and win Champions Leagues. But Kota Takai, is he the player to do that? 20 years old, he's not a spring chicken. I mean, sometimes when you're picking up players like this from other leagues, you're potentially, they're 18, they're 17. Like what we've done with Luka Vuskovic, what we did with Sarr and Udogie, we loaned him back. And, I can't imagine him being loaned back, but we've been sort of scarred with these sort of signings. Think of Aleo Veliz, who's probably more than likely to leave the club this summer. Just a pointless transfer. And you think maybe if they pick up a deal for £5 million, they could potentially spin a profit on this. Another thing about this is Daniel Levy, it's not a fool to know that the Asian market is worth a lot of money. Look how successful and profitable Sun has been for the Korean market, how Yang is potentially going to take on that mantle. And I've seen from Maro Atoma from Brighton, Kauro Atoma, who is a very big player for Brighton. He brings in that strong Japanese market, and potentially this is the idea for Kota Takai. It's one of those ones where, other people from across the footballing sphere are going to look at it and go like, Tottenham again, not really, doing much. I mean, I know there was Rooney Bargi has rejected us in favour of Barcelona, but we got Lucas Bergvall over Barcelona. So it's one of those ones where you just don't know what's going to happen, and you just have to sort of keep the faith and hope that this is a player that will come good and have a lot of potential. But as I mentioned in a lot of other videos, Tottenham have to do a lot more than this to really, go on to that next level. And it does leave one of those bittersweet moments in your mouth where you're like, it could be good, it couldn't be good. Tottenham, you need to do a lot more than just this. And, at this stage, we've only just signed Matthias Tell. You'd hope that maybe we could be doing a bit more. I've mentioned other signings. I think we desperately need a 6. I think we desperately need a more competent centre-back if Romero leaves. A full-back as well. I mean, this guy apparently can play right-back. But I think that's key. And then a winger come attacking mids who can be versatile in those areas. So this is, hopefully the start of something else that Tottenham can do. I mean, 5 million, it's not groundbreaking. We paid 10 million to get Thomas Frank out of Brentford. So, I don't know. But then Brentford and teams like Brighton make these sort of signings. And then we go, where did this player come from? Even Bournemouth's pull out a Milos Kerkez and now he's going to Liverpool. It is the way sort of the cookie crumbles sometimes in football, that you have to keep the faith and hope that these players come good. But, this Tottenham defence is going to be hard for him to get into. Mickey van der Ven, Christian Romero if he stays, Udogie, Porro, you've got Dragusin, you've got Vuskovic if he stays, Ashley Phillips. There's a lot of good, Kevin Danzo, there's a lot of good players in there, and he's got to really, will he be loaned out? Will he be kept on? It's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell. But, yeah, breaking news. Fabrizio Romano drops a bomber late on a Tuesday night. But let me know, what do you make of this? Does it annoy you? Or are you happy enough that Tottenham have maybe, lit the flame and started off making some signings in the transfer market? And if you have enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. As I say, I've got a special video coming tomorrow, a deep dive on a signing that I think Tottenham will make this summer. But until then, hope you've enjoyed this one, and I'll speak to you guys pretty soon. Bye.